What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Buffalo Bills post-game reaction show here on Nickel City Mafia. What an awesome game. 28-21, the Bills get the victory. It was a masterpiece on both sides of the ball from both, our coaches. Give McDermott and Babbage a lot of credit for what they did on the defensive side. And, of course, give Joe Brady a lot of credit on what he did, as well as the team in general. I mean, did you guys know that this was the lowest pass completion percentage of Pat Mahomes' career? 44%, his lowest of his career. And Josh Allen had his highest percentage of his career, a little over 88%. Fantastic game. But before we get into all the details, guys, you were there. You continue. You're undefeated. What is this, your third, fourth game that you went together? I don't know about everyone else here, but if we need to start a GoFundMe to get you guys to every game, let's do it. I'm down for it. But let me throw it to you guys, man. Talk to me about the atmosphere. Talk to me about your whole day.
Well, started off, we got up this morning. We had to pay a little visit to Doc Sullivan's. But before we did that, we went to Paula's Donuts, Mike. So
Ooh, nice.
You got to hit all the Buffalo staples. We hit 9/11 Tavern last night. We went to the Sabres game to follow. That was an incredible game. They win in a shootout. University of Buffalo wins yesterday too. So, no pressure. We want to complete the trifecta today, right? So we go into this game eyes wide, hearts open, right? And we did our thing. We won the tailgate. We get to the game, and the atmosphere just absolutely electric, as always. Of course, it's going to be a great game between these two teams. We got to see the CBS set as well. That was pretty cool to see. They had fake snow out there, too, which was pretty wild.
Really?
Not that we need fake snow. I'm actually surprised we don't have snow at this point right now, so always great to see. It was a beautiful day, 53 degrees and sunny. Minimal winds, and it was just a perfect day for football. Overall, I know there's a lot of people saying this is a meaningless game, and it's not going to mean much if we win or lose, and this is Buffalo's Super Bowl, whatever you want to call it, right? This meant a lot. I died like 3 times during this game. I mean, the roller coaster ride was there. I mean, Sean could attest to that, and it takes everything out of you at a game like this. And obviously very satisfying ending for it. So, just really happy. Lost my voice a little bit, but we're thriving, Mike. We're thriving.
So did you guys stay around after the game to go, try to get, see anything fun happen afterwards? Or do you guys exit as soon as the game was over?
So we hung out for like a second. Yeah. But we walked right out, with all the other fans and whatnot once the game was ended. They played Mr. Brightside on the way out, so that was cool. We were wondering when they were going to actually play that, but it was too close of a game for them to do so, right? Yeah. So they played it on the way out of the stadium. But
I thought I heard it between the third and fourth quarter. I guess not. That was just me hearing.
No,
stuff.
They played Blink 182, all the fall things, instead of that. So we were a little perplexed by that. We're like, maybe no Mr. Brightside. They typically play it at like the 2-minute warning, but most of the time when they do play, they play it when we're already up, and the win is more or less secured. This one, not so much secured. You got to play till the last second in order to get that official win against the Chiefs. Like there are no gimmies against this team, and I want to give hats off because they almost did a very Chiefs-like thing and rallied back. So yeah. Like I said, took everything out of us as fans too, for sure.
Yeah, I had to squeeze my son's hand a few times. Like, all right, Jonah, come on, give me that hand of yours. I need you. I always tell him, I need you here, Jonah. Get over here.
Yep.
But great game, as we thought it would be. Some sad news, just get that out of the way. Michael Hoyt, who was just really been electric the last 2 games. He was a game changer. He was an absolute game changer. It seemed like him and Dorian were spying on Pat. Pat only had 5 yards rushing. That's unheard of for Pat. Unheard of. So the defense was doing fantastic, but Hoyt apparently has torn his Achilles, and his season is over. So we've got him for 2 games. Terrible news. But, even when he went out, the team stepped up. So let me just say hi to some folks. We got a lot of folks out there in the chat, and then we'll get things going. Sean, you're on deck here. I want to talk to you, my friend. You're going to be first here because you're going to talk about that wonderful job that offensive line did. But we got Trev out there from Ireland.
Come on.
He
Man.
says, hey, Jake and Mike, how are you after that fantastic victory? We are fabulous. I will watch this tomorrow morning, but unfortunately it's too late to go live. My friends, have a brilliant show, and go Bills. He's in Ireland. Love you, Trev. Yeah, fantastic show. Great. I'm glad you were able to stay up late enough to watch it. We got Brett out there. Brett's got a lot to say today. We'll go through his chat here throughout the show. He says, go Bills. Thanks for being out there. We got Tom joining us. Gallica boy.
Hey.
Yeah, let's go. And then Sean, Brett is asking who's next to Jake, because you kind of like half your face is showing, but he knows who it is. Come on now.
Always messing with us, Brett. Where the heck are you, brother? I see you in the chat out there.
And then we got I think that's Chad the Chief.
Chad.
Yeah, sorry, man. That's a rough one. Kind of knew it was going to go down to the wire, and man, just these two teams, they always get your heart racing. Let's see here. Could you hear the doink? Oh man, everyone could hear.
You
the
know what?
doink,
No.
right?
So it's funny on the replay. You could hear it very clear, but I don't think I heard it in the stadium. Maybe I was just so distraught by the field goal not being made, because at that point your heart kind of sinks, right? Because they get the ball at the 42-yard line, because that's where he kicked it from. And you're just thinking the worst of worst, because that naturally, as a Bills fan, you're just kind of conditioned to feel some type of way whenever we're in a situation like that.
I know.
But no, I didn't hear it.
Oh, real quick. Did you like going for the field goal, or would you rather him punted?
I hated the play call on third down there, honestly. I liked the field goal attempt, but I was hoping they wouldn't even have to amend in that situation. They could have just finished the game out there. I think you got to run an RPO in that type of situation. Keep the ball in Josh Allen's hands. And I understand, they were taking him down for losses on sacks and whatnot today. And honestly, that kind of goes on Josh. 2 of those sacks on that drive, on the drive before that, 100% on Josh. I'll say that right now. Sean would agree with me on that. Mm-hmm. But I think in that situation, keep the ball in the hands of Josh Allen. Let him make that decision to either ride James Cook and take it himself for a few more yards, or give it to James Cook. And maybe you have the same result, but I just think you have to do something a little bit different instead of running it up the middle.
Run it up the gut, because they're selling out at that point. They're like, we're selling out. We're gambling that they're going to try that, and they absolutely did, and they got a shot. Mm-hmm. So I totally agree. We got Ryan out there. Go Bills. Yep. We'll talk about this in a little bit here, Ryan. I want to get through a lot of the positive stuff, and then we'll start talking about, with the trade deadline looming November 4th. I think 4 p.m. is the deadline, and now you're still looking for a receiver, maybe defensive tackle, and we'll talk about all that, who those options might be. And let's see here, John Roberts, thanks for joining us late tonight, sir. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, Maxwell Hairston, dude, he's the real deal, guys. When I saw him running stride for stride with Xavier Worthy, we already knew he had speed, but I was still worried about him coming off the injury and stuff. He's the real deal. I'm so excited about that. And let's see who else we got. Let's see. Bosa had a fantastic game. Bosa was incredible. But let me, Sean, let me throw it to you, because this was a game in the trenches. And that old line was unbelievable. Talk to me about what you saw there and what you thought of your O-line today.
Yeah, well, first of all, sorry, I got something in my eye and it keeps itching, so I'm just gonna cover it so I can stop itching it. But yeah, I mean, trenches overall, they looked absolutely excellent, both sides of the ball. But the O-line in particular, they didn't. Chris Jones, George Karlaftis, those guys didn't make, I don't think, a single play the entire evening. So limiting their best players to nothing, or virtually nothing. Maybe they had a tackle here and there, but I didn't, watching those drives, ever think we can't move the ball on this great defense, because they are fantastic. Run blocking was excellent. Again, continuing that. Pass blocking was great. And I was telling Jake, I knew those 3 sacks that Allen took, people were going to be like, oh, man, he had under pressure all night. But at least 2 of those, if not all 3 of them, were because of him, especially running around again, 20 yards back, taking a sack, throw the ball away. You should never be taking a sack like that. And then the other 2 are basically him just running forward and then not getting to the line of scrimmage. I don't really count those as sacks because there was nothing open. He tried running and got tripped up, but we kept him clean majority. Besides those, basically the entire night. Allen had a lot of time, made some great throws downfield. He was able to go through his reads. Again, like John Roberts said, Cook had over 100 yards. I can't remember the last time the Chiefs gave up a 100-yard rusher.
Yeah.
And then, this was the hottest team in the league. Not just offense and defense, but just in general. They were the talk of the town. Everyone's like, this might be the most complete Chiefs team ever. Rich Eisen was saying it this morning. But yeah, we came to play, and we won it in the trenches, and that's how you win the football games.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about that, right? For the Bills to win this, they're going to have to rely on that best run offense in the league, and they did it extremely well. Like you said, great job by the Lion and Cook. I don't know. They had mentioned it. When was the last time the Chiefs had allowed 100 yards? I think it was early last season, maybe. I don't know, but it was just fantastic to see that.
You know what, Mike? I got to say something.
Yeah.
I gave a game ball to Reggie Gilliam last week, and shoot, I almost want to give him another game ball, a little preview of what's to come here. But you want to talk about the physicality this team brought to the table. I mean, him as a lead blocker today, more often than not, it was a beautiful thing. It was just great, classic hat on a hat football. I was so here for it. It fired me up. I got everyone else fired up in the stands next to me, too. They were like, wow. The guy next to me didn't even really know who Reggie Gilliam was. And I said, brother, let me give you a little lesson on this young man. And he's like, man, I've been looking at 41 all game. You really put me onto this guy. I'm like, well, I'm glad I did. Someone's got to put you onto him. I mean, guy's incredible. Shout out to Reggie Gilliam. What a day.
Oh, I know. Steve, thanks for joining us tonight. Says both Bishop and Hairston excited me today. Bishop might have had a coming out game. I mean, he's been showing up lately, past couple games. But what an unbelievable performance today by Cole Bishop. I mean, just flat out incredible. I mean, he had, let's see on the stat line here. By the way, Sean, there is some early PFF scores. Cole Bishop was the #1 rated defensive player on PFF, 82.6, followed by Maxwell Hairston. Bishop was on the field for 60 snaps, Hairston 30. But then, of course, Bosa. I mean, it's in line of what you would expect based on what you saw on the field, which is sometimes not the case with PFF. But so far, the eye test is looking pretty good. Absolutely. But yeah, guys, I mean, Hairston and Bishop, what do you guys think, man?
Phenomenal. The defense is so much better when Hairston's on the field. I mean, it really is like night and day. No disrespect to Trey White, but Hairston should absolutely be starting over him. I think he's earned his stripes, especially today. I mean, you talked about him, Mike. He's running stride for stride with Worthy. Not only does he offer the speed, but I think his instincts are great. I mean, just a great job, too, for him to turn around and have the IQ to do that instead of, potentially causing a pass interference call there. And he could have even potentially had an interception on that play, too. So I love what this kid brings to the table. I love his attitude. We were listening a little bit to his post-game presser, and just the way that he comes across, he's so well-spoken. And I just think he's got so much passion for the game. He's got confidence. He's got swagger. He's learning from all the right guys too. So, obviously talk about Trey White, like this is the best guy to learn from. So yeah, just really, really happy with his performance. And how about Cole Bishop? Listen, I said he was Harrison Smith 2.0. Yeah. I'm sure yourself as well as the rest of the fan base was kind of starting to doubt whether Cole Bishop was going to pan out or not. But today he really showed out, and even the mistakes he made, he got up and made up for it. I mean, talk about that missed tackle he had, gets up and makes the tackle anyways. I mean, that's just one example of many today. So, and Hairston said himself, he's like, I'm surprised he didn't have 10 PBUs today, pass breakups. I mean, he was all over the field, running sideline to sideline. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was a thing of beauty. You know who else had a great game? Cam Lewis. Don't tell me Cam did not have. Where's Trek Reviewer out there? And PFF.
There were a couple plays where it was like not so great. A couple really good plays though too. And honestly, I think he got held or clipped.
Oh, he did.
That 100%, right?
Yeah, he did for sure. I saw that on TV as well. I think they might have said that on the broadcast, or no, I heard it on another podcast as well. Yeah, Cam Lewis was the 7th overall. as far as grading goes on PFF with a 66.1. But it's good to have a guy like that because, of course, Taron Johnson, I didn't know. I don't know when it was announced that TJ would be out. I didn't realize it until this afternoon, but I think they did say it pretty early or pretty late in the week, but that was a surprise. But man, they didn't miss a step. They didn't miss a step. It was incredible. Let's see here. What else we got?
30 games, Chad says, by the way, for the last 100-yard rusher allowed, which is a really incredible thing in itself. Sure. I mean, that defense, listen, Sean and I said it. It's like you talk about how good they are with making adjustments at halftime. And I think they did. I mean, we scored 21 points in the first. What was it? Was it 21 points? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was 21 points, right? They only allowed 7 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Didn't allow any in the fourth quarter. They won the second half, technically. It was 8-7 in the second. I'm looking at the thing right now. And I think that was one of the biggest things we were worried about is just like how the Chiefs were going to make adjustments and how they were going to potentially win this game. And I think they did, but the Bills outlasted it, and they did a really good job of managing that. So, shout out to them. The running offense was really special tonight. And, 114 yards on 27 for James Cook. Phenomenal.
Yeah, so and then on the D line, Joey Bosa was just lighting things up all night. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he was.
He was fantastic. His actual stats here today were he had 3 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 tackles for losses. But the Bills pressured the Chiefs on 52% of their dropbacks.
Jeez.
They pressured Pat Mahomes 52% of the times. And they weren't really, they were just typically bringing 4, right? There was a couple blitz. I know Benford got that sack, which was nice. Because how many times do we blitz a guy and Pat just jukes him out and we miss him?
Oh, every time.
How many times, right?
Yeah.
Every time. But it just felt like a little different with the pass rush. I don't know. It was just perfect. They were containing him. And so there was nowhere for him to go. I remember he turned around and there's Epinesa right in his face, almost caused the strip sack. It was just brilliant how they controlled the line on the defensive side. It was just incredible.
I was going to say, I think the Chiefs were definitely missing some old linemen today. I know Jawan Taylor went out with an injury too. Yep. Chad's saying right now too, he played a D- game, patchwork O-line. Missing some key people, still had a chance to win. They did. Yeah, absolutely. It always comes down to 1 or 2 plays, Chad. It's every single time. And I'll admit to you right now, like it feels good to get the win. And I know it's just regular season. We got to do it when it really matters. This does still matter though. It does matter in terms of seeding. And I think it matters in terms of morale for where the Bills are right now. You guys were the hottest team in the NFL coming into this game. So it feels good to be able to take you guys down for one here. So shout out to you, Chad. Appreciate you always joining us, and good game, sir. Handshake to you.
Yeah, so the series is even up 10 games. It's 5-5 now. Unfortunately, the 5 that we lose is in the playoffs. So, but again, like you said, this is very important. Why? Both our teams, both the Chiefs and the Bills, for the first time, aren't in the lead in the division, right? We're chasing the Patriots, man. We dropped this game. We already looked at their schedule. The schedule is one of the lightest, right? I think they have Tampa, and of course they have us. And there might be one other game, but who's that?
They play Baltimore.
Baltimore, okay. And luckily, Baltimore's getting right at the right time, right? Because we're going to need that help. But man, we dropped this one. They were showing it. It's crazy. Like Buffalo at this point, before the game ended, Buffalo was in the 5th seed, and they still are. They'd be in the the 5th seed. Yeah. And the Chiefs are on the 8th seed. I think the Chiefs now have fallen out.
Yeah.
But that ain't going to last.
I know. That's just it. It's like people are like, oh, if the playoffs started right now, the Chiefs wouldn't be in it.
Yeah,
don't pretend like this team is not going to be in the playoffs. They're gonna rally off double-digit.
They're probably going to go undefeated the rest of the season.
Let's be real here. Maybe this is the fire that just lit under their asses, and they're going to just win out. We'll see you guys in January.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Chad, that was a big stand there at the end of the first half, the 1st and goal to 1, where we had to settle for a field goal.
That was a tough.
The bogus intentional ground, and where the pass was tipped. were the turning point in the game. So, Chad, agree. I mean, yeah, you guys can convert that. You made that great play, made that deep pass, but you got to realize like that tip pass, it was still going to be third down. I mean, it was. I know it's a big difference between third and 7 versus third and 17. I know there's a big difference, but you still would have had to convert that. And they actually sacked Pat. Again, I know it's a harder play, but it's harder to get 17 than 7. So it wasn't like it was something where it was a first down. It's going to give you first down or anything like that. But I hear you.
At the end of the day, though, with that, the play was over. They moved on. It was 3rd and 17. They were lined up. And then Andy Reid was able to talk to the refs for 5 minutes, delay the game, not waste a timeout, not get a penalty for delaying the game. And then all of a sudden, they just gave the Chiefs an extra yard. So instead of 3rd and 17, they got 3rd and 16.
Yeah, that was bizarre.
So I'd never seen it all my years watching football. No timeout was wasted, and they didn't get a penalty for talking to refs. It was literally 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 3, but it was way more than 30 seconds. It was way more than the play clock. Nothing changed. No timeout was called. All of a sudden, Andy Reid's talking to the ref. So yeah, maybe it wasn't grounding, but it should have been another 5 yards for delay a game because he delayed the game absolutely, and there was no timeout used. Even when the left guard got injured, they didn't waste the injury timeout. They just let him get off the field. Like, I never seen things like this.
It's a pretty clean call. Yeah, game. I mean, the Bills had 4 penalties on them for 40 yards, and the Chiefs had 3 penalties for 25. So they pretty much let them play. And maybe they will look at that. I mean, maybe that is something that should be reviewable in the future, right? If it was a tip ball, I mean, maybe they can review that and overturn it.
I'm surprised they didn't go to a booth review, or New York didn't get involved, especially because they hadn't already run another play. You were taking that much time.
Can't overturn it.
I know. It is wild. It's got to be something that probably is addressed in the future, obviously, for rules and whatnot. But
yeah. But that's
the guy that they hire on the actual, I don't know what his name is, whoever works with the 2 commentator guys on the show.
Yeah.
What's his name? He didn't even know the rule. You're paying this guy a lot of money and you don't know, because they went to him and he's like, yeah, they should be able to review that and overturn. And they're like, no, dude.
Right.
You're a former ref, or I think he was a ref, right?
I just wonder too, could you pick the flag up and just say there's no flag for intentional grounding?
You could have, if you didn't continue on to the next play already,
right?
And we're lined up to go do the next play.
Have the discussion first before they're already,
But yeah, regardless of, because it was tipped, but regardless of that, the rule is you can't challenge flags. And Andy Reid was trying to talk out of a flag, and you can't. So either a timeout should have been wasted on the Chiefs, or it should have been a penalty again. So yeah, it was a missed call, but at the end of the day, Andy Reid still got special treatment because of who he is, and I don't think that was right either.
I don't know about the special treatment, but let's just
because you can't argue penalty.
Hey, well, that's on the refs. Then
done, you got to move on.
Then they need to take care of that. But I mean, these are 2 of the best teams in the league, and it was a fantastic game. And yes, there's calls. If you were to look at a magnifying glass, there's calls missed all throughout the game. I think Steve mentioned one. There was a holding call on Knox. And we're like, what? Even in the booth, they said, who was it? Jim and who's the quarterback there that does who's in the booth?
Tony Romo.
Tony Romo. Even Romo was like, but he didn't say anything more than that. But yeah. I thought it was pretty clean. The time of possession was 34 minutes, 45 seconds for the Bills, 25 minutes, 15 seconds for the Chiefs. Just a great game. I mean, we've already talked about it. Hairston. I thought, even Bernard. So what do you think about Bernard? Here's one thing I see. I'm not nitpicking, but this is a little bit. It feels like they are always they're about to snap the ball on offense, and our defense is still trying to figure out what the mic call is, right? It's like, where are we going? And I'm like, dude, they're about to snap the ball. There was one case where they had to call a timeout because the Chiefs were pretty much at the line.
I know.
And they're all still together. I'm like, what are you doing? But dude, they put a masterpiece together. I can't complain when you hold Mahomes to his lowest completion percentage ever. You cannot complain about anything on the defensive side, and then Brady as well. I mean, Josh Allen, 23 of 26. Come on, man. That's just an incredible game plan. That's a great defense. Spags, probably the best defensive coordinator in the game. I mean, he just is incredible. And then, of course, Reed and all that he does. So great win here. Not going to take anything away from the Bills at all. They earned it. And great game by the Chiefs as well. And I fully expect the Chiefs to be back in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens there. But who do you guys want to talk about? Let's go. Let's talk about some guys, man, because there's lots of game balls to give out. I know we
didn't even talk about Dalton Kincaid. How about
let's talk about Kincaid. Let's go. Let's talk about Kincaid.
I think this is the best tight end room in football right now. I mean, it is so evident. You know, rare drop from Jackson Hawes, our boy out there. I know. Listen,
that was a big one too.
Right. Everyone starts talking, oh, he's just a blocking tight end. No, this man's an athlete. Okay.
He is.
Don't get it twisted. And by the way, the streak continues. We were 5-0 in games where Jackson Hawes caught a pass. Now we're 6-0 in games where he catches a pass.
Nice.
So shout out Jackson Hawes. Made up for it with that 18-yard catch. Dawson Knox, I mean, he talked about it in his press conference too. He's like, you don't know when you're going to be targeted, but when you do, you better make the most of it. And he sure did. It was a beautiful thing. I mean, you talk about pushing the ball downfield. Who says it has to be to a receiver, Mike? Maybe it's to tight ends. Maybe that's what we had to do all along. I love the utilization of them. I thought Kincaid was fantastic tonight. What he did, clutch catches, over 100 yards, just a hell of a day. And shoot, you want to throw in, I love Steve giving love to my boy Reggie Gilliam. Steve, I did mention it. Yeah, absolutely deserves a game ball. Huge blocks, complete football player, acts as a hybrid tight end when he needs to. Guy's amazing. Absolutely. Love the tight ends on this team. Love them.
Yeah. John, who you want to talk about, man?
I mean, I saw a video of Hoyt tearing his Achilles and then getting right up and beating Trey Smith in a pass rush rep and just going off the field and sitting on the bench saying, I'm not going to go to the locker room. I want to watch this. My team play the game.
That was pretty cool of him.
Usually you see people tear their Achilles, they're crying like babies on the ground. He's just like, oh, I'm about to get right up in a half a second and then go against a fantastic right guard. And then he hobbled off the field and stood there with his teammates. And, it's that's really cool to see. But, yeah, it was just overall a physically dominating game on both sides. That's what happens the formula's been out. When you get to Patrick Mahomes, this is what happens. It's been proven multiple times, two times in the Super Bowl, and then multiple times in the regular season. We've been unable to actually get to him, but now we finally did. So, I mean, we already talked about everybody on the D-line, but it was nice seeing Bosa just get after it today.
Yeah, that was very dominating. And like I said, somehow they contained Pat to 5 yards. Like, that's just – I'd have to look back over Pat's career, but the last time he was held to 5 yards, there hasn't been many, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Because he had nowhere to run. Like, the way they were rushing, they were keeping containment, and they definitely were spying him, right? So there was spies on him. No matter when he started the scramble, they were on him. It was impressive, man. It was impressive.
It really was.
Yeah, Wumpdock, he gets Hoyt gets a game ball. I'm thinking you're saying for me. Sad he's done for the season. Yeah, it's brutal. Yeah. It's just our luck. Guy's back for 2 games. He's been electric, and then we lose him.
This is the story I feel like for the Buffalo Bills forever. I just don't understand. It's like you finally get Ogunjobi and Hoyt to return. Harrison returns. Of course, Eddie Oliver goes out with an injury, done for the year. And now Hoyt, we're like, okay, we lose Oliver, right? But the rest of the D-line's playing really well. Hoyt is unbelievable. You could play him anywhere on the field. He can go interior, he can go outside, he can play stand-up linebacker, whatever, right? Goes down with an injury. And it's just a shame because you want to see it all work together and all of those guys be healthy and on the field at once. And who knows? Maybe hopefully we get to see that, but it's really a question mark on whether we do.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine Hoyt, what we're seeing out of him, and Oliver? Oh my gosh! And then you still got Daquan Jones coming back at some point.
Daquan too. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah. Elijah Moore had a nice catch. That was a big play right there. Beautiful play.
Yeah. Basically, everybody contributed in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah. What was it? 10 guys caught passes tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Let me see here. Yeah, it was. Let me give you some numbers here on the receiving. So Kincaid, obviously the number one guy, 6 catches for 101 and a touchdown. 47-yarder was his longest. That was the thing of beauty.
Yeah.
By the way, to throw some of those passes, that O-line was great protection.
So much time.
Great protection. Like I said, it felt like they were keeping. Let's see, Jones and who's their other?
Karlaftis.
Yeah, I mean they were pretty quiet. I know Karlaftis had 6 tackles, and then Jones. He really didn't do a whole lot. It just felt that they were. Jones had two tackles. Just felt like that whole line was just, I don't say dominating, but man, they were controlling things very well and giving Josh plenty of time.
Yeah, it's funny. We saw on the way in, going to the tailgate, we saw Ashton Gelotti's family. So he showed up on the stat sheet there, half a sack. He was one of their draft picks, obviously, but we saw his family actually walking in. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah, it didn't even seem like Karlaftis even got tackles.
Yeah, he's not even on the stat sheet here.
No, he's got.
Oh yeah, he has.
He's got the
6
5
total tackles.
6
You're right.
tackles.
Well, no, he's got.
I see that.
So he has 1 actual tackle and then 5 tackles where he was in on a play. I don't like assisted tackles because anyone could get in on assisted tackle.
Yeah, you just jump on the pile at the end.
Yeah, Chris Jones, no tackles, 2 assisted. But yeah, I mean, 5 assisted tackles, you're in on the play, but they didn't impact the game in any way. And Osiris Torrance, another game against the Chiefs where he was outstanding, probably the best out there. And I was telling Jake, and I didn't want to say it too soon, but I said it at halftime anyway. Whenever we're in Buffalo, Chris Jones seems to not do anything. And I'm wondering if it's because he loves those wings too much and he eats them before the game or like the night before, and it kind of weighs him down.
Barbell last night he had.
Because your body's, what you put in your body is how you perform. And if you're eating, fatty, saucy, blue cheese and wings, and you're going to sleep, waking up, and trying to play a gladiator sport, maybe it might weigh him down a little bit.
You know who it didn't affect though? We had 40 wings last night, Mike, and both John and I, we showed up today.
But you had 40 last night, and then you have another 30 this morning.
We had 40 for dinner, and then we had 30 for lunch. Yeah. John, and then we got 10 to go. And by the way, you're going to be so disappointed.
Oh, you didn't like it?
I didn't even try them.
What?
I brought them to the tailgate. I set them down. Sean tried to remind me
multiple times,
and I just lost track. You're starting to drink a few beers. You're having fun. Someone had them. I did not try them, and I got to admit. The smell was good. And by the way, I'm speaking of beef on weck wings. That's actually a thing here. So we have the beef on weck, right? It's your Kimmel weck roll with roast beef and horseradish on top. Typically, right? Traditionally. Yeah. So this wing is covered in like a horseradish, like cream type of sauce. And it has the Kimmel weck salt and whatnot and all that stuff on it. And it's supposed to taste like a beef on weck. And, I never got to try it.
I forgot, huh?
Well, at least I tried. Shout out to them.
Doc Sullivan's. Yep.
I know they're those specific ones are award winning.
Yeah.
But there's a reason why they're the only place that has them. I'll tell you that.
Because no one else can compete with them with those wings. That's what
it's a bold move for someone to try to attempt to make a wing with that flavor.
Well, we'll have to wait now to kind of find out from someone who tries it actually, but at least you got the Smitty wing in, which is a very good wing.
The rest of them were really good.
Fantastic.
Were really good.
Honorable mention. I mean, I wouldn't say they're in my top 5, but they're certainly I would consider top 10 without a doubt.
Well, they're in my top 8. So, wait, which ones? Like the joint itself, Doc Sullivan's. You're saying?
Yeah, Doc Sullivan's. Yeah,
top 10 for you.
Absolutely.
They're
in my 5, Mike. I've only been to 5. But...
So, all right, good. Your top 5.
But they're not last for sure.
Right. John, I would love this. I wonder if Landon Jackson will be active now.
Well, it's Miami. You might as well.
Yeah.
I think it's a good opportunity, John. Yeah. For sure. Yeah.
I mean, he's a big enough dude. I mean, how heavy is Hoyt? What was he playing at these days? Anyone know?
Well, he came in real heavy. He dropped down to 270. I think he was probably more like 250. He looked like a solid 250.
Yeah, he did look. So, Jackson's 260 something. Maybe he can play a little bit like him, because it was weird because they had Hoyt seemingly playing off the line just a little bit on passing plays. And there's, I mean, of course, he was scouting Holmes, but it was just strange how it was working. But dude, every time he'd rush the passer, they were putting pressure on him 52% of the time. It's insane. So, John, I'm down for it, and it's a good team to do it against. And let's see, let's bring the young guy up, and he's super athletic. Let's get him going. Let's see here. Holmes got hit more than he has gotten hit in the Bills versus Chiefs last 9 meetings combined. Yeah,
is that really true?
I mean, it felt like that. I don't know if that's I can confirm that, but they were kind of saying that on the in the booth as well on the broadcast. Like he took a lot of hits, right?
Yeah. He's saying he loves playing in historic stadiums. I don't know if he's gonna love this one.
Even when he was rolling to the right and stopping, like he took a big hit. I think it was Epinesa hit him. It was an incomplete pass, but yeah, and the fact that they got him 3 times and they were all around him, like he had no room to run. I just loved what the Bills did there on their scheme.
Did we even talk about Harrison's pick yet?
We did early. We did. I mean, Jake was talking about it, and we gave him a shout out. Like he's the real deal, man. Like we talked about him staying stride for stride with Worthy. Dude has the speed. What was he, like a 4.28 out of
4.28? Yeah,
4.28. And I know that Worthy's a 4.22, but that's extremely close, right?
Yeah.
Extremely close.
It was funny. A certain couple people I listened to that are they cover Buffalo. They were a little bit worried about having Harrison play versus the Chiefs, and I was just like, "This is why we drafted him. Yeah. Literally, that's the only reason why. Like because of these guys." And I'm sure tomorrow they'll say that they were pleasantly surprised, or now they're full on board with them. But yeah, I mean, like John says, we were missing. I forgot we were even missing Palmer.
Yeah,
you're missing Palmer and a couple guys on defense, and he rose above the occasion and made things happen. Yeah, and Allen too, because I mean he still made, like, those sacks were mistakes on him, so like he still made a couple mistakes. But as far as seeing people open downfield when they were, he was making all sectors of the field, every quadrant of the field. He was making throws and deep balls, short passes, mid range, and he did a phenomenal job. And
he did.
I mean, if he did what he did today, those 2 games that we lost, we wouldn't have lost.
Yeah,
and so it's good that he's maybe he just took playing a great team like that to get his mind back.
We've been saying, play action, use that run game, and they did today. Like they, how many times did he fake the handoff and either roll or do something, nice little pass? I mean, even our guy James Cook, I think, got his first dump off, right?
Yeah, right.
on a critical play too.
Yeah.
So that was nice to see.
He was even in on a tush push, pushing Allen.
Yeah. Let's see. Brandon Cunningham would be on first to be waived.
Yeah, I agree
for sure.
I think that experiment is done. Yeah, I'm curious. And Steve, I want to talk about this because I know you had mentioned the Bills should trade for Calais Campbell. I love that. I think it makes a lot of sense because and my cousin Nate was on the postgame talking tonight. We were listening to him, and he had mentioned, maybe going and trading for a guy like Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins, which would be interesting. I don't think they would do it given the fact that we're playing against the Dolphins this week. Otherwise, you're going to have to sacrifice like a high draft pick or something, but he was suggesting maybe a 3rd round pick, which I would love. I think that'd be great. But also, Sean had made a really good point, and it's like, if we trade for a guy like that, is he just going to be a rental, or is he going to be like a long-term solution? I feel like if you're trading for a Jalen Phillips, he's a long-term solution, whereas Calais Campbell, great fill-in, a guy that's going to bring the juice, great veteran presence in the locker room, probably only going to be with us for this season, maybe next season, maybe, but the realistic side of it is he's going to be here as a rental piece, and he'll ball out and do his thing and maintain that defensive line and hope continue the consistency.
Here's something to talk about, Mike. The Chiefs were 3 for 13 on 3rd down.
That's impressive. I mean, especially for such a bad. And I know we let up the 4th and 17, but like, what was the 2 for 3 on 4th down? Okay,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's great. Again, best quarterback in the league. Best offensive mind in the league, and you do something like that to him. It's really impressive.
So before I get into it, let's talk about like who are you? The trade, the deadline's in a couple of days, right? Tuesday we talked about that. The only other thing that, and it's a little bit of a knock, is like it felt like we used some silly timeouts. I thought that at first, but then I think we called a timeout on a field goal of theirs. But then I heard somebody say that there were 12 men on the field. So I think McDermott used those timeouts. We don't see a lot of those things. What's happening that he sees, like, why the heck are you wasting a timeout on a field goal attempt by the Chiefs? Right? Why? But that's why. So
that's interesting. I didn't really. I was trying to think. I don't even know if I saw 12 men on the field for that. But yeah, you know what? I think we were all so distraught from the timeout. You just immediately are like, what?
Right.
Again? And like multiple times it had gone to like a media timeout or there was a break because of an injury, and our guys still weren't ready. So that part is definitely concerning. I think some of that is on coaching and some of it's on discipline alone.
Yep.
I don't understand that. They got to figure that out. They got to get that right.
Well, if I'm scoring the coaching staff today, it's A plus, man. I can't. These little nitpicky things, silly for me to even bring them up, but great job. I do want to ask you guys. All right, trade deadline. We've been talking wide receiver. I'm hoping they go both D tackle and receiver. But what are you guys thinking now? I mean, who's the priority for you? What's the priority? Wide receiver, defensive tackle?
It's hard to say receiver after that performance. I mean, 23 for 26. But then again, it's interesting because you look at the and we talked a little bit about this. So Trey, shout out to Trey in our Discord, had brought up a very interesting stat. What was it? Average depth of target, and for Allen, it was like 4 yards or something like that. Mahomes was 14.
Wow.
And that, and you got to take into account, like, he did throw a couple of deep balls and they were just incomplete, or the interception was technically an average depth of target of like 50 yards.
Pass,
right. Yeah. So there is that. But
not all stats are created equal.
They're not. But it does make you still think, like, are we really just waiting for Palmer to come back? Are we going to elevate Gabe? Like, is that what's going to help us? Is receiver still the top priority after we had these injuries? And it's hard to say. Hearing all these trade rumors that were in the talks for getting Chris Olave has got me salivating. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
I still think it does give us an element to the game that right now we don't necessarily pose a threat, like, at all in any way to do. Just keep everything in front of you more or less. But because we do run the ball so effectively and because we are so physical with our offensive line, I think at times we saw today the play action really does work, and it opens up the game for the tight ends. So my answer to you is I think a receiver would be really nice, but it's not the end of the world if we don't trade for one.
So you're saying the DT is priority?
I almost want to say that defensive line might be a little more important because guess what? This is the AFC team that was represented in the Super Bowl last year. How did they lose that game? It wasn't really because of A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, was it?
No.
It was because of that defensive line.
Yeah.
So I think defensive line, just based on injuries and all that good stuff,
they kind of
might be a little more
too, though.
They did. They did, for sure.
I mean, not to bring that up, but it was 40-6, and they took the starters out. I mean, they could have put 70.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
true.
But I mean, if it was me, my team was winning like that, I would leave the starters in. It's a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
I'll keep piling it on.
Right.
But
set some records.
But yeah, I mean, whatever we would get now wouldn't be what the Eagles had last year anyway. But my thought on it would be, it all depends on who you would get. If the receiver is just like, if it's not Olave, get a good D tackle. If you're just gonna get like a Jordan Phillips type D tackle, go get a different receiver. But it all depends on the ability of the person you're gonna pick up. But I would say, with Palmer getting healthy, and you could always use Gabe. Yeah, it wouldn't be perfect, but I would say D-line's more important too, because Ed Oliver is way harder to replace than Elijah Moore or Tyrell Shavers.
Yeah, isn't Phillips? He's an edge, right? He's not even a defensive tackle.
Jalen Phillips is an edge.
No, Jordan. I was talking about Jordan Phillips. Like if you're just gonna pick up a guy like him, we already got him, but a similar guy like him, you might as well just go get a different receiver.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna get like a Jeffrey Simmons from Tennessee, then I will get Jeffrey Simmons.
Difference maker, for sure.
Because then Jones will come back. I know Sanders comes back, but I don't really care. I'm not really that high on him anyway. And you got Walker, and then you still got Phillips. So I mean, I think honestly it'd be
no love for Fedarian Mathis though, Sean.
Yeah, Mathis has been good, but
I
don't know if they're gonna. I don't know
if
they're gonna ever sign him. He's already used all his time. I don't know, but regardless, he's a practice squad guy, even though he's been all right. So we'd have 2 practice squad guys being in a second rotation in our defensive line, and I don't really know if I want that. So,
yeah,
I would hope maybe. I mean, if you get Jeffrey Simmons, you got him and Walker, then you got Jones when he comes back, and you got Mathis, and then Phillips could be that 5th guy or Sanders. But maybe they won't bring anybody, like what John says. They probably won't even use anyone.
They're going to stay pat.
Well, if I had to choose, it'd be both. I mean, again, you're not going to get 2 elite guys, but people that can help. But if I had to just pick one where Bean's like, all right, I'm going to pivot to the defensive tackle as well. Because we got Palmer coming back. He has looked pretty good, of course, when he's healthy. And that's always a concern with him. Steve, I brought this up. I wanted to answer it. Of course, all of us.
Oh, yeah.
Was I the only one that had a 13-second traumatic flashback after Prater missed the field goal? Absolutely. I was even thinking if we punted the ball, we punted the ball, they still would have had more than 13 seconds. And it was going through my mind as well. I think it even made it easier because back in the 13-second game, they started at the 25-yard line, I believe.
Yeah,
right.
Whereas this one, they were already at the 45 of theirs, something like that.
Yeah. 42. Yeah.
I was honestly, I was proud of this defense. I think if McDermott never called that timeout on that 4th and 17, they would have missed that play, and we would have got the ball back, and then the game would have been over then. But they still, 21 points to that team is still outstanding.
Yeah,
and it's gonna stink because they whoop us so bad, not so bad in the playoffs, but every year in the playoffs, nobody that's gonna talk about this game is gonna care about it or give anybody credit, and you can't watch that game and think that. Even with the Chiefs, I'm watching the Chiefs players, you can't tell me that this game doesn't mean anything to these guys. And, all these guys on the media all the former players are going to say, well, I don't really care. What have they done in the playoffs against them? It's like both of our teams, we're in 2nd and 3rd place in our divisions. Now we're still in that, even though we won and they lost. But our teams are climbing. We're still 2 of the best teams in the conference, but we got a lot of work to do. And, everybody would rather not play either of our teams in the playoffs, but this game means everything because
they're coping.
Yeah, well, and it's just frustrating because then, Allen did good, but he always does good. So who really cares? Oh, the defense looked really good the last 3 weeks, but they still have a horrible defense. Because even before this game, and we whooped the Panthers. I don't trust their defense. That's why I got the Patriots winning the division. They beat the Panthers, but they're the Panthers, right? But guess what? The Panthers just beat the Packers, and the Packers were looked at as the best team in the world, right? Yeah. So that win looks even better now. And we whooped them 40-9, and they come out and go to Lambeau, and they beat them 16-13.
And the throwbacks too.
So this game matters especially because now the Colts lost. They're 7-2. The Broncos are 7-2. The Patriots are 7-2. We got the Dolphins next week with the potential to be 7-2, and you're still right there. And we're getting better each week. The defense is finally I think this is a middle of the pack defense right now, and we were horrible. Now we're middle of the pack. Stay there and maybe improve a little bit more. Who knows what this team can do? But this game mattered because you went against a very well coached, well run organization, and again best quarterback to play the game. Travis Kelce's still there. You got some speed guys. So this is a game that people should give some respect to Buffalo. Not like people in the chat or nothing, but media that's going to talk about. They got to have integrity and journalistic integrity, and also be honest too. They can't just be like, well, they didn't win the playoffs, so that's just dumb.
Yeah, look, this was at this point in the season was a very big win, and you can't take anything away from this team at all. I don't. There's nobody. If you ask Pat Mahomes or Kelsey, do you care about that game? They're gonna be like, I don't even want to cuss, but they're like, Yes, we care about that game. We are now 2 games back in our division. 2 games back. And you've already lost to they lost to the Chargers. Right? Yeah. So the Chargers have that little half game in hand there. And I think they did beat the Broncos, right? In the first matchup.
They play them after the bye next week. So that's actually right. So they got a week off, and then they play the Broncos. So that's if they win that game, they're right back in it. And then Kansas City off a bye, I'm sure they'll do really good. But all these games are important.
And Sean, this defense was a top 5 defense today. This defense was a top 5 defense, and this could be something that they can continue. Of course, those injuries to Hoyt, but if Hairston continues along this path, it was crazy because he had 27 snaps last game in his first game. We were surprised about that. I felt like he was on there a lot more, but he was only on 30 snaps this game. So I like how they're slowly bringing him in, but they were on big plays, right? They're using him, and soon it's just going to be him starting over or White. You can see that happening probably in the next 2-3 weeks. I think he starts getting more of those snaps. But yeah, if they can continue what they did today against that team, oh my goodness, they're going to rise in the standings. But again, they'll have to overcome that loss of Hoyt and Oliver now.
And even like you said, like today, definitely they played like a top 5 defense. The last 3 weeks, I think overall they were like between 5 and 10. But obviously, how bad they were in the first part of the season. But they found themselves. Now McDermott's calling plays. You got some guys back. You got everyone playing together, and they learned a lot about themselves. So yeah, if they can play like this, keep pressuring the quarterback, getting sacks, getting turnovers. I mean, the sky's the limit with this team, and it's good to see because watching the defense in the first few weeks and them get ragdolled by everybody in the media, and like people were picking us to lose the division just because of the defense. Like we don't care about. We know they got Josh Allen, but the defense is so bad. This defense can't do nothing. Acting like we're the worst defense in the league. But I'll be interested to see what people say tomorrow.
Yeah, should change their mind. It should change their mind what they saw today for sure. Steve, both the Chargers and Jaguars have head-to-head on the Chiefs. They're in trouble for sure. And then it's a good point. He says with the Colts loss today, I truly believe whoever wins the AFC East will be the number 1 seed. Interesting.
Yeah, Colts they're 7-2, but they only have 1 conference loss. So we got 2. The Patriots got 2. So right now the Colts are still in the driver's seat. But yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones had 5 turnovers today, 3 interceptions and 2 lost fumbles. So that's the old Daniel Jones where that would happen often. But I mean, they're still a great team. But when you turn the ball over and you can't run the football with Taylor, and you're not working with Daniel Jones too well, you get games like that. So,
yeah, I mean, let's be real. They went up against a pretty good defense and a team that I think the Steelers had come off 2 losses, right? So this was crucial for them.
Yeah, and their defense actually really hasn't been playing well. So, I feel like they probably wanted to have a statement game, which they absolutely did.
So they've been great turning the football over because they had 5 turnovers against the Patriots and 6 turnovers against the Colts, but they're giving up like 500 yards a game. Like it's like the worst in history. Like it was like 450 total yards a game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Average. And they're slow, they're older, but man, they can turn the football over.
Jake, do you know? I don't know who this gentleman is. Akem Basote.
Yeah, I wanted to just look up his size. So he's 6'3.5", 306. But yeah, he played at Maryland. He was drafted by the Cowboys in the 7th round in 2024, I believe it was.
No, this year.
It was this year.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. That's even crazier. But yeah, he's found his way on the practice squad for both the Cowboys and the Panthers, and really hasn't been able to find a home. I don't think so, because I think Fedarian Mathis is playing pretty good football right now, John. I got to give him a ton of credit. I think he made some really good effort plays tonight, especially at the beginning of the game. Not so much towards the end. I felt like he wasn't in as much, but
yeah, he kind of.
I loved what he was bringing to the table initially. I thought, a couple tackles initially, and I think he's earned a spot.
All right. Well, awesome. I think they're I know it's really late for you guys, and it's a Sunday evening, and you guys have been on the go for 2 straight days.
We've been going.
All right, I know.
My eye for an hour. Horrible.
We've already kind of talked about the stars of the game and game balls and stuff like that. you kind of derive who we're going to give game balls to. Fantastic game. Let's go celebrate. Sean, you got to get back to home tomorrow. What time you leave in the morning, sir?
The train leaves at 9.
9. Okay, you get a little bit of sleep. As long as you get to sleep now. You look like you're about to fall asleep, by the way.
No, it's just like as soon as I got down here, I had like I don't know what it is in my eye, and it keeps itching, and I scratch it, and it gets more red. But yeah, I mean,
got some kitty litter in your eye because Jake has a cat.
You're right. John actually is right here too. He did say Mathis only has one more elevation. That is a good point. So that, yeah, your question does make sense there, John. There is potential then maybe. We'll see. Unless Steve, they go trade for a Calais Campbell. Tell you what, right now, in a perfect world, Zion Logue too, another name. In a perfect world, I think the Bills go and trade for Rashid Shaheed. And honestly, Steve, I think you've sold me on the Calais Campbell thing. Bring him in his little rental. He could play inside and outside.
He's a perfect rental.
Who's he playing for now?
Perfect rental. He's with Arizona. He went back to Arizona because he wanted to go win a ring. They're not winning a ring.
No.
Hate to break it to Arizona Cardinal fans. It's not going to happen. So let's get him in this locker room, trade a 7th rounder or something like that for him. And let's work, you know?
Are you going to be really disappointed come 4 o'clock on Tuesday and Bean doesn't make a move? Are you
a little.
I'll be more like, aw, that would have been fun.
You're not going to be throwing chairs, Jake, and
be throwing chairs,
throwing stuff in your man cave there.
You know, you'd like to see just something happen. Yeah. Just something.
But you know, like people say, it's he can be calling all he wants, but if people don't want to do nothing, you know, unless he has to say something outrageous, like, oh, I'll give you a 2nd round pick for Calais Campbell, and they'll be like, oh, okay. But like a normal conversation might not be good enough for some of these people at this point, which would stink. And
why does it feel?
I mean,
why does it feel other teams are able to get good deals? Like didn't who was it? The Ravens? Didn't they? Somebody traded for Jair Alexander, right?
The Eagles.
Yeah, the Eagles traded for him for like a 3rd rounder. We wanted.
I think it was a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, 3rd rounder. Jair. We wanted that dude.
Yeah.
That's the guy we wanted badly ahead of Russell Douglas, right?
Yep.
And they get him for a 3rd rounder. How come we can't make him a deal like that?
I know. I hear you.
We'll see. I think though, especially now that Hoyt got hurt, I think they'll definitely at least try even harder to call, but because now you lost 2 good defensive linemen.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I'm hearing Dolphins are willing to give up Waddle. Let's go get him.
Hey.
I saw that too. I don't know. I don't buy that. I feel like that's
right?
that has cohesion and chemistry right now with Tua. So, yeah. Also, you know, the division rival trade thing. Yeah. I just, you know, can't do it. Not this week. We're playing the Dolphins this week, so I just don't see the Dolphins.
Right? Wouldn't that be nuts? They trade them and
it would
play them.
Yeah.
No, Waddle game. Well, even in baseball, there was times where they had like a 3-game series and they traded one of their guys to the other team. And they just walked across to the other dugout. And
it's kind of crazy.
It's like,
yeah, good to see you out there, Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy, I'll be listening to your show. I'm on the train ride home tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Check it out. I jumped in his show for a little bit. I stay quiet though because he always just calls me bad names, so I try not to throw anything out in the chat. Calls me something California related, which just doesn't sit well with me.
Funny.
Just joking, Tommy. Anyhow, we appreciate all you guys, and thanks for joining us tonight. Big win. Go enjoy it. We'll see you soon. We'll see you on Wednesday on the Mafia Midway. Looking forward to talking about that a little bit more, watching the all 22, and just really enjoying what we saw on that field today. So you guys get some rest, well-deserved. Thanks for going to get those wing videos for me.
Of course.
And maybe I got another one for you to do for me at the Elmos. I need an Elmos one. But anyhow,
I got you.
All right, let's go. John, have a good trip home tomorrow, man. And way to stay undefeated. What is it, 4-0 now?
3-0.
3-0. 3-0, but
2-0 against the Chiefs. Back-to-back years.
Beautiful.
I'm at 7 in my adult life, 7-0. So
woo. All right. I'm telling you, we're gonna start up the GoFundMe.
The kid part doesn't matter, but
send you to every game. All right. Take care, everyone. Go Bills.
See you guys later. Go Bills.